Imagine waking up as one of the very first humans, long before cities or even villages existed, greeted not by the sound of an alarm clock, but by the world itself slowly filling with golden light. The darkness of night fades away, and the landscape is revealed in all its mystery and promise. A great, warm disk climbs into the sky, painting the world in color and warmth. It reveals food hidden in the grass, warns of dangers lurking in the shadows, and banishes the cold that clings to the earth at night. The sun's arrival is a daily miracle, a signal that life can begin again. But when it disappears, darkness and fear return. The world becomes uncertain, filled with unknown sounds and hidden threats. The sun's absence is a reminder of how fragile life can be. Naturally, you'd look up at that brilliant object with awe and wonder. Its power is undeniable, its presence overwhelming. It's the one thing you can always count on to return. You wouldn't know it's a star, a giant ball of fusing hydrogen and helium millions of kilometers away. To you, it's a power, a presence, a god. It's the source of warmth, the giver of life, and the ruler of the sky. This wasn't just a fleeting thought, it shaped entire civilizations. The sun's influence reached into every aspect of daily life, from the way people hunted and gathered to the stories they told around the fire. Sun worship was a logical conclusion based on daily experience. The sun's regularity and power made it the most obvious candidate for reverence and ritual. The sun was the most powerful and consistent force in their lives, the world's first clock, and the source of the seasons. Its rising and setting marked the passage of time, and its changing path across the sky signaled the coming of rains, harvests, and migrations. To make sense of these cycles, ancient people created symbols, one of the most enduring being the equal armed cross. This simple shape, with its 4 arms of equal length, represented the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Each arm pointed to a turning point in the sun's journey, marking the rhythm of the year. The cross's vertical and horizontal lines also mark the solstices and equinoxes, the 4 key moments in the sun's annual cycle. The solstices, when the sun reached its highest or lowest point in the sky, signaled the longest and shortest days of the year. The equinoxes, when day and night were equal, marked the balance between light and darkness. These celestial events were not just astronomical, they were woven into the fabric of life, celebrated with rituals and festivals, and used to guide planting, harvesting, and migration. Understanding the universe began with understanding the sun, and to understand it was to worship it. Early astronomers watched its movements, trying to unlock its secrets and predict its moods. The equal-armed cross became a map of the heavens, a tool for tracking the sun's journey and the changing seasons. Across every continent, people looked at the sun and saw a divine being. From the Americas to Africa, from Asia to Europe, the sun was honored in countless ways, each culture weaving its own myths and legends around its daily journey and the turning of the year. They built structures to track its movements and honor its power. Temples, monuments, and even entire cities were aligned with the sun's path, designed to capture its light on special days of the year, especially at the solstices and equinoxes when the sun's position marked the changing of the seasons. Its light became a symbol of wisdom, truth, and life. The sun's rays were seen as a bridge between the heavens and the earth, a source of inspiration for art, religion, and science. The sun's daily journey was a cosmic drama: birth at dawn, struggle at noon, death at sunset, and miraculous rebirth. This cycle mirrored the rhythms of human life and the eternal hope for renewal. The annual journey, marked by the solstices and equinoxes, was a grander story, one that shaped the calendar, the seasons, and the very structure of time. This narrative became the foundation for countless myths and philosophies. Stories of sun gods and goddesses, of battles between light and darkness, shaped the way people understood their place in the universe, and the meaning behind the changing seasons. Humanity's first attempt to write the story of the universe cast our own star in the leading role, a role it still plays today, as the heart of our solar system and the source of all life on Earth, guiding us through the cycles of day and night and the turning of the seasons. To ancient people, the sun was the source of all life, an absolute, daily truth. Every morning its return was a miracle, a reassurance that the world would continue. The sun's steady rhythm marked the passage of time, anchoring the days and seasons in a cycle that shaped every aspect of existence. When the sun shone, plants grew, animals thrived, and people survived. Its light awakened the world, coaxing seeds from the earth and filling the air with life. The sun's presence was felt in every harvest, every new leaf, every healthy animal. Its warmth made the land fertile. Without it, the world was a frozen wasteland. The difference between abundance and scarcity, between life and death, was often measured by the sun's favor. The sun was the engine of existence, the cosmic heart pumping life into the world. Its energy radiated across continents, touching every living thing, binding all creatures in a web of light and warmth. This made it a supreme deity in many cultures, the ultimate creator and sustainer. People built temples and monuments to honor the sun, carving its image into stone and gold, weaving its story into myth and legend. Its energy flowed into soil, plants, and every living creature. The sun's touch was everywhere, from the smallest sprout to the mightiest beast, a silent force that made life possible. A child's birth or a plentiful harvest was seen as a blessing from the sun. Communities gathered to celebrate these gifts, offering thanks and prayers for continued favor. The sun was also a purifier and healer, its light believed to drive away sickness and reveal truth. Sunlight was thought to cleanse the body and spirit, banishing darkness and evil wherever it touched. It became a symbol of justice and order, its daily path representing cosmic law. The sun's unwavering journey across the sky was a model for fairness and balance, inspiring laws and rituals. The sun didn't just give life, it gave life meaning and structure. Its cycles shaped calendars, guided planting and harvest, and set the rhythm for work, worship, and rest. But its power was double-edged. It could nurture or destroy, bring bounty or famine. Too much sun could scorch the earth, while too little brought cold and hunger. This duality made the sun both loved and feared. People respected its might, knowing that their fate depended on its mercy. It had to be honored to ensure its benevolence. Rituals, offerings, and prayers were performed to keep the sun's favor and ward off disaster. The sun's awesome power, its ability to create and destroy, was central to its worship. Its light was seen as a bridge between the mortal and the divine, a force that connected earth and sky. Across the ancient world, this understanding inspired intense devotion. Pilgrims traveled great distances to witness the sunrise at sacred sites, seeking the sun's blessing for themselves and their communities. The sun was the force that made existence possible, a giver of life, a bringer of order, and a symbol of the eternal cycle that connects all living things. Around the world, cultures gave the sun many faces and names. In Egypt, Ra sailed the sky by day and battled chaos by night. Pharaohs were his earthly sons. In Hinduism, Surya rides a chariot of 7 horses, source of light and knowledge, honored in daily rituals. The Greeks worshipped Helios, later merged with Apollo, symbolizing not just light but intellectual illumination. The Romans revered Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. In the Americas, the Inca called themselves children of the sun, and their emperor was a descendant of Inti. In Japan, Amaterasu, the sun goddess, is the most important Shinto deity. These weren't isolated beliefs, they were a global phenomenon. Across continents, people independently arrived at the same cosmic conclusion. The sun is a god. Our ancestors saw divinity in the sky's brightest presence. To honor the sun, our ancestors built monumental temples and observatories. These structures, like Karnak in Egypt, were aligned to capture the sun's light on key days. Stonehenge's stones frame the solstice sun, marking the seasons for agricultural societies. These temples were both practical calendars and sacred spaces, where science met spirituality. Festivals celebrated the sun's return at the winter solstice, bringing hope in darkness. Symbols like the circle, the point, and the swastika represented the sun's power and were found worldwide. These images adorned stones, pottery, and textiles, a constant reminder of the sun's importance. The sun was a tangible presence, not an abstraction. Temples and symbols were humanity's way of reaching for the divine. The sun's path shaped both our calendars and our faith. Across the world, many ancient cultures gazed at the sky and saw the sun not as a single entity, but as a trinity: dawn, noon, and sunset, each phase holding its own unique power and meaning. This threefold nature of the sun mirrored the cycle of life itself: birth, growth, and eventual decline. In ancient Egypt, for example, the sun's journey was personified by 3 deities: Khepri, the scarab-faced god of the rising sun, symbolizing new beginnings. Ra, the mighty ruler at noon, representing strength and vitality. And Atum, the wise creator who presided over sunset, embodying completion and the promise of renewal. These were not separate gods in competition, but three interconnected aspects of a single, all-encompassing, solar deity. This trinity was a powerful metaphor for the stages of human existence: birth and youth, the vigor of maturity, and the quiet wisdom of old age and death, always followed by the hope of rebirth. The sun's daily journey became a cosmic drama, a story told in 3 acts that played out above the heads of every civilization, and this pattern is echoed in the myths and beliefs of many cultures around the globe. For people of the past, this cycle offered comfort, reminding them that darkness was only ever temporary, and that the light would always return. This powerful idea shaped not only ancient religions, but also influenced later faiths, including Christianity's concept of the three-in-one Godhead. The notion of a divine trinity has deep ancient roots in solar allegory. These cosmic patterns shape the very language and symbols we use to talk about the divine. In many ways, the sun was humanity's first teacher of theology, its cycle a promise of renewal, hope, and the possibility of transformation. The solar trinity is a universal story, one that continues to inspire us today. The sun's journey became the template for the hero's journey in myth. The hero is born at dawn, grows in strength, faces trials at noon, and descends into darkness at sunset, only to be reborn. Myths like Hercules, Samson, and Gilgamesh echo this solar cycle, battling darkness and chaos. These stories made cosmic events personal, teaching courage and hope. The hero's journey assured people that darkness is temporary and dawn always comes. Solar myths were more than entertainment. They were sources of strength and unity. The sun's story is the story of hope and resilience. We all face our own nights and winters, but the dawn returns. The sun's epic became the blueprint for our greatest tales. As Christianity rose, it absorbed many symbols and traditions of sun worship. Christmas was set near the winter solstice, echoing the rebirth of the sun. The halo in Christian art comes from solar crowns of pagan gods. Churches were built facing east, toward the rising sun, a practice rooted in ancient sun worship. These traditions bridged the pagan past and Christian future. The old ways didn't die, they were reborn in new forms. The sun's legacy lives on in faith and ritual. Gold's value is tied to the sun. It shines with a solar luster and never tarnishes. Ancient people saw gold as a piece of the sun on earth, sacred and divine. Kings and priests wore gold to embody solar power. Temples shimmered with gold leaf. Gold crowns and halos symbolized divine authority and light. Even today, gold means excellence and immortality. A golden age, a gold medal. Our reverence for gold is a memory of sun worship. It's a whisper from our ancestors linking us to the star that warms our world. Today we know the sun is a star, a nuclear furnace, not a god. Science has replaced myth, but our dependence on the sun is deeper than ever. Our food, energy, weather, and climate all come from the sun's power. We no longer pray to it, but our survival is still tied to its light. The sun now inspires science and art, solar panels, poetry, and photography. It remains a symbol of life, energy, and renewal. Its light reveals truth and offers hope for a sustainable future. Our relationship with the sun has evolved from awe to understanding, but reverence remains. When you feel its warmth, you connect with the same force that inspired the first humans. You are bathing in the light of your star.